Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
Have you noticed some of Brittney Griner's strange behavior behind WNBA Commissioner Catherine Engelbert? This may be the real reason why she is still in the league.
Another example of that is Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner made news. And Brittney Griner made news the other day because why?
Stephen A. Smith just dropped what might be the biggest curveball of the WNBA season, delivering a fiery on-air takedown and making shocking claims about Brittney Griner that have the entire league scrambling to respond. And this isn't just noise. Stephen A. doesn't waste time with rumors or half-baked takes. When he speaks, it's usually backed by facts, which is why fans are taking this so seriously. For months, people have been side-eyeing Brittney's unpredictable behavior, sudden elbows thrown mid-game, heated trash talk, out-of-nowhere online rants, and an intensity on the court that feels different from her usual style. Clips have been circulating for weeks, but no one in the mainstream media wanted to touch it until now. With Stephen A. putting this front and center, it feels like all the puzzle pieces are finally falling into place. Social media is exploding with debates, the WNBA is under pressure to respond, and fans are split down the middle. Some defending Griner and others saying this explains everything they've been noticing all season. One thing is clear, this is no longer just a rumor. Stephen A. has turned it into a full-blown national conversation, and the league can't ignore it any longer.
Griner, who was imprisoned in Russia, in a man's prison, which I had no idea.
Is under fire for extremely aggressive behavior portrayed toward Caitlin Clark, the rookie from last year, the one that has everybody's focus in the WNBA. And this incident has, of course, gone viral online, but also sparked up some other skeletons in Brittney's closet that she probably wants to stay.
For years, fans have been asking the same question. Is Brittney Griner really who she says she is? The whispers have only gotten louder, and the picture being painted is far from flattering. Now the big question is, what's actually in these mysterious documents? And why does it feel like the WNBA is going out of its way to shield her from scrutiny? Fans aren't letting this go, and the tension is boiling over. Over the past few weeks, Brittney Griner has been under fire from WNBA supporters for her heated on-court clashes and eyebrow-raising attitude. But this latest revelation might just blow the roof off the whole situation. What really sent the rumor mill into overdrive was Stephen A. Smith's jaw-dropping comments during his sit-down on the Valuetainment podcast. The conversation turned to Brittney's alleged bullying, especially toward rising star. Caitlin Clark and Stephen and the guests didn't hold back. They called her out for being overly aggressive, ungrateful, and entitled, saying she acted like the sport owed her everything, but then came the moment that lit the entire internet on fire. Stephen A. claimed to have bombshell documents revealing Brittney's real DNA results, and what he suggested left fans stunned. The big question now is how Stephen even got his hands on something like that. According to reports, Brittney was forced to undergo extensive testing during her time in a Russian prison. And some insiders claim the Russians secretly ran a covert DNA analysis using those very same samples. If the whispers are true, those results allegedly revealed unexplained genetic markers, traits that some claim could explain her fierce, almost unstoppable energy on the court. Fans have always been in awe of Brittney's raw athletic power, which has often seemed off the charts, even compared to the WNBA's best players. But now many are asking whether there's more to the story than just talent and training. And here's where things get even more controversial. Her intense, physical style has been raising eyebrows for years. Teammates have admitted they've gotten banged up during practice with her, and opponents regularly leave games with bruises after going up against her. We've all seen the clips of Brittney going extra hard on Caitlin Clark. Yes, basketball is a physical sport, elbows fly. Bodies collide, but it still doesn't explain why so many players walk away battered, while Brittney barely seems to take a scratch. Unless, of course, there's something different about her physical makeup giving her a unique edge.
Remembering who they let out to get her back.
The Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens, according to the reports. That's who they let out. For her. You would think that you would be smiling, you would be ecstatic, you would be happy, and something like this wouldn't faze you at all. The fact that it does is disturbing. I'll leave it at that.
Here's the thing, there's a reason men's and women's sports have always been separated. Different genetic builds mean differences in height, weight, speed, stamina, and even recovery time after injury. So when you've got one player who seems to check every single box for elite power, strength, and endurance, and is doing it at a level that stands apart from everyone else on the court, it's only natural for fans to start asking questions. And that's exactly what's happening right now with Brittney Griner. It didn't take long for people to start connecting the dots and digging into her past, pulling up every moment that suddenly feels a lot less random. Take that now infamous poolside clip, for example. Fans are still debating why Instagram never flagged it for nudity, even though it appeared to show a woman fully exposed in public. And just so we're crystal clear, this isn't about moral policing or questioning anyone's personal identity. This is about patterns, facts, and transparency. Because let's be honest, if any other WNBA player had posted that clip, Instagram's guidelines would have kicked in instantly. And then came the twist that really set the internet ablaze. Stephen A. Smith didn't just talk about the rumors, he claimed to have seen the actual documents, and he didn't hold back. During his recent interview, Stephen gave his unfiltered take on Brittney, leaving fans shocked and confused. He even brought up Brittney's time in a Russian prison. And the way he said it had everyone leaning in. It felt like he was right on the edge of revealing way more than he was legally allowed to say. You could almost feel the tension in the room. And then there's the international angle. Remember, Brittney wasn't just released, she was part of a high-profile prisoner swap for Victor Bout, one of the most notorious arms dealers in modern history. That move alone had fans questioning why her case was treated with such urgency. But here's where things get even more puzzling. Brittney's charges were relatively minor, the kind of charges that wouldn't normally trigger a geopolitical negotiation of that scale, which leaves everyone wondering what made her case so special. Why was she worth so much to the US government? And could those secret Russian records be the missing piece of this entire puzzle?
Fans in every sport. She described the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport you're in. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena.
Brittney Griner was arrested for smuggling and possessing a small amount of cannabis, a charge that normally wouldn't even make international news. And yet, she was traded for Victor Bout, a convicted arms dealer accused of plotting against innocent lives and considered one of the most dangerous men on the planet. It didn't add up then, and it sure doesn't add up now. Fans began asking the obvious question: why would the US agree to such a lopsided trade unless there was more to the story? According to Stephen A. Smith's careful but loaded words, there absolutely was. He hinted that Brittney's exchange deal had layers. The public was never meant to see . The way Stephen A. kept hammering home the point that Brittney should be grateful only made people more suspicious. It sparked theories that the WNBA itself may have stepped in behind the scenes to protect her from the fallout, not just to save face, but to keep whatever was uncovered about her in Russia from ever reaching the public. And here's where things take an even wilder turn. Some believe that if Brittney had stayed in that Russian prison even a little longer, the truth about her real medical records, not the polished, league-approved version, might have come out. That possibility has fans buzzing and asking the same question. What is the WNBA so desperate to keep hidden?
Brittney, a few weeks ago, you fouled out of an Indiana Fever game. Cameras caught you saying something on the bench. It's hard to tell what you said. Can you tell us what you said?
I remember fouling out, being mad. I remember fouling out on, I believe it was Howard, driving to the basket. They said I put my hand in. But hey, we never really had to look at the shade, so.
But what did you say?
I really can't remember what I said, honestly.
If I showed you the video, would that help?
No, it wouldn't help.
If Brittney had stayed in that Russian prison even a little longer, her real medical records, not the polished, league-friendly version, might have been exposed for the entire world to see. And judging by the comments online, plenty of fans agreed with Stephen A. Smith. One person wrote, "I generally don't like Stephen A., but he nailed it here. Absolutely nailed it." Another chimed in, "If Griner is a female, why was she in a Russian male prison?" The questions just kept piling up. And Stephen A. wasn't backing down. He even resurfaced an old quote that fans had nearly forgotten about, a rant Brittney allegedly made about the WNBA itself, and it did not sit well with people. The quote has been circulating online again. with Brittney supposedly saying that WNBA games used to be quiet and chill, but now fans were yelling crazy stuff and putting unfair pressure on players, which she reportedly called gross and even toxic. Some clips even reference her mentioning a man and his daughter yelling from the stands, though she wasn't sure if it was directed at her or racially motivated. That comment alone blew up social media, and not in a good way, to be fair. The original post came from a meme account known for satire. But that almost made things worse because the joke hit a little too close to home for a lot of fans. It matched what many already suspected about Brittney's attitude. And now that Stephen A. was adding fuel to the fire with his most explosive claims yet, it became impossible to ignore. In Stephen's view, if Brittney really felt this way, it wasn't just disrespect toward the league, it was a slap in the face to fans who pay to watch her play, and to her fellow athletes who grind every single game. And then came the real bombshell. Stephen A. didn't just speculate, he claimed he had documents that back up years of whispers, alleging that Brittney might have broken one of the league's most sacred rules about player eligibility. That alone sent shockwaves through the sports world. After that, Brittney's behavior only seemed to spiral, both on and off the court. The most talked about moment came when Caitlin Clark fouled her out of a game. Brittney reportedly snapped so hard she shouted something at Caitlin. Some fans say it was whack effing call, while others insist it was something far more personal. Brittney later claimed she didn't even remember saying anything at all. Either way, the damage was done, and with these new rumors swirling, her public image took another major hit. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get worse, it did. A growing number of fans now believe Brittney has been shielded by the league as part of a bigger behind-the-scenes agenda. Think about it. If the Russians were able to find something from just a handful of tests, why didn't the WNBA ever launch its own investigation? Could it be that they already knew? Maybe, just maybe. The league decided to quietly protect her rather than deal with the firestorm that would follow if the truth ever came out. Now, to be absolutely clear, none of these claims have been officially confirmed. But that hasn't stopped fans from treating them like breaking news. Social media is flooded with hot takes. Make her pay back every penny she's earned under false pretenses. Wouldn't that be identity fraud? Others are even revisiting her past behavior, looking for signs they may have missed, like whether teammates ever noticed that she never fully changed in the locker room. One thing is for sure, Stephen A. Smith isn't the type to drop a bombshell and walk away. If he's right, he's not just calling out Brittney, he's calling out everyone who allegedly protected her. And if this DNA leak turns out to be legit, the WNBA could be facing the biggest scandal in its history. The wildest part, it's starting to look like Brittney might be the one getting thrown under the bus, left scrambling to protect her reputation while the league keeps its hands clean. So, is this just a social media frenzy gone wild? Or is there really more to Brittney Griner than meets the eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.